everyone, I'm doing my practice for my John Maxwell and focusing on my next book, Make Today Count. So today's chapter was on priorities and taking back today, focusing on what our priorities are for the day, what is required of you, what is going to give the greatest return, and what is going to give the greatest reward. So in all of our jobs, we all have things that we are good at and we have things that we are not so good at. If we are fortunate and we are in a management position, we can delegate the things that we're not good at. Unfortunately, if you're on the front lines like I am, you can't delegate. So for example, I'm not that good on chats. I can't delegate it. It has been suggested to the clients that they try to give people who are good at the chats to do. Those who are good at the phones and the emails, give us that work to do. But at the end of the day, the client has their own priorities and what they expect. So we have to be able to meet those demands, or we have to be able to work on a team where the supervisors can make those decisions to say, you know what, we're going to prioritize this in such a way that the bulk of what this person does is going to be focusing on the areas of strength rather than the areas of weakness. Because it doesn't make business sense to give somebody a task to do or a priority to do that they're not good at. It costs the business money, you'll end up getting a high turnover, and you'll end up having to do more recruitment. But at the end of the day, I'm just a worker. I can make suggestions. I can't tell people what to do, and I can't delegate because I'm not in management. When I was in management, I was able to do that, and I was able to bring people into a team that complemented each other. The other thing is being coachable, so getting feedback from other people and being open and being able to let people know this is a weakness for me, this is where I'm struggling, and being able to learn from them and get some experience added to you. There's experience and there's evaluated experience. So you have to evaluate your experience and see where your strengths and your weaknesses are. And then you can take personality tests and you can do all these kinds of things, but at the end of the day, people have to be a little more accepting and a little more open to saying we're coming from different backgrounds, we're coming from different cultures. I know a lot of people who have come onto my teams from Egypt, from Africa, from India. They say this culture is so harsh in Canada. Is this really how it is? And I say, yes, you have to adapt. And they're like, the Americans swear a lot. I said, yes, they do. So it's very, very hard when you come here from a different culture. I know in England, friends of mine and some of my extended family have also told me people swear a lot here compared to how we grew up. We never grew up like that. We never grew up with talking about peeing and shitting and all that when people are eating. It's rude for my culture. It's rude in Africa. You don't do that. But here people do it. I find it disgusting. But I've learned to keep quiet because they get offended and they're like, oh, we fought for the right to say whatever we want. So better for me to stay at home and eat in my own place rather than go to other people's houses and have to hear about people shitting and peeing and all this kind of thing while you're eating. There's a time and a place for everything. Well, apparently not in North America. Anything goes in North America. And I believe England is becoming the same way. So anyway, I know that when I was working as an executive assistant, the things I focused on was helping my executives to prioritize, helping them focus on what's important rather than them spending a lot of time on all the small details that I could take care of on their behalf, being the point of contact for the team, being there to take the calls, take the messages, help them, adding value to the team, and controlling the office, getting the stationery, making sure the vendors and the accounts were taken care of. It all depends on your job and what you're doing and what is expected of you in that role. So one of the firms I interviewed for, they wanted me to be open to travel and staying at the hotel. I don't like it, especially with my health. I don't like being away from home. I like to stay at home. I like to come home. I don't like staying at people's homes. If I go to a party or an event, I like to come home and sleep in my own bed. I don't like staying in people's homes, other people's homes. And sometimes if you go to people, they don't have a bed, they put you on the couch or they put you on the floor. I'm not a kid anymore. I did it when I was a kid, when we had people come to visit. We used to let the adults have the bed and I slept on the floor and I was happy to do it. But I can't do it anymore. Even traveling long distances, I have to be careful with my health. It's not the same anymore. So you have to prioritize and you have to know how to make today count, what decisions you're making today that are going to impact your future. And also they're saying about timing and potential and the mentoring fit, depending on who you're working with. But there's a lot of things that are out of our control. If you look at the recession that's coming, people are saying it's coming. They're warning us it's coming. So you can choose whether you want to take a contract now, knowing there's a recession coming and there's more than likely going to be job losses and layoffs, or you can listen to people who are saying there's a skill shortage, we need more people, we can't get enough people, and we need bums on seats to do this work. But are they going to make you permanent? And when the job cuts come, are they going to help you to get something else? Or are they going to do what they did to me and say, she's new, she just came, she's only been here 6 months, we're not keeping her. So you have to decide and you have to choose. Unfortunately, I didn't have anybody to guide me. So I took the contracts, I did what I could. There was always a promise that, oh, we'll extend the contract or we'll make it 2 years. And then the next day after they told me they're going to make it a 2-year contract, I got a call at home saying, don't come back and leave your badge with the agency and you can't go back to talk to anyone. So you have to choose what your priorities are and making today count. There's always things that we can't see. Nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow. Yes, there are elements of where we, in our scriptures anyway, we have a big picture element of prophecies and predictions and what we can expect. The same way that economists make predictions, the same way that people read the signs and the stars in the heavens and make predictions. But nobody can tell you for sure, tomorrow, Belinda, you're going to walk out and you're going to get a promotion. Or tomorrow, Belinda, you're going to walk out and you're going to be in an accident. Nobody can tell you that. There are lots of things that people can say, this might happen, that might happen, but nobody knows for sure. And if you've taken risks, like I've taken risks and they haven't paid off, particularly with banking and finance jobs in the hospital, I'm not willing to take those risks anymore because I know that when push comes to shove, nobody will have my back. Nobody will say, no, we're going to find you something else and we're going to move you into a different role. They're going to say, you apply, go and look on the website, find something else, and if it's a good fit, we'll take you. So you have to evaluate and you have to decide what you want to do. And that's about priorities.